Hello everyone, thank you for watching. So we have been talking about the definition of risk, the unexpected and expected losses and risk. Today let's talk about the risk management cycle. Risk management cycle is how a conventional risk management system works. So it has a lot of variants, and some people explain it in a four-way cycle, some explain it in a five-way cycle, and the steps goes as high as seven or eight. But let me explain a concise version of risk management process today, which has broadly four steps. So the first step is identifying the risk. So in the first step of risk identification, we try to identify all sort of risk that we face. So if it's an organization, it actually assesses all sort of operations it has and then make a comprehensive list of the risk faced by the organization. For example, if we are talking about a bank, the major risk would be maybe credit risk, it would be market risk, it would be operational risk, it will be reputational risk, and the rest is wrong. But the first and foremost and the most important step is actually identify the risk. There's a lot of details of how we identified it. We can do it through brainstorming, through going into the regulations, into research reports and stuff. There's no hard and fast rule of doing it, but the bottom line is to identify all sort of risk that has been faced by the organization. So once you have identified all of your risk in the first step, the second step is to analyze. Under the analyze step, we do all sort of quantification, scoring, ranking of the risk. For example, if you have identified that you have credit risk in your organization, you will develop credit risk scorecards. You will develop credit risk limits. You will develop credit risk policies. Okay, so you will actually quantify all sort of risk in this particular step to be able to have an idea about the extent of your risk. So in the second step, you have analyzed all of your risk. In the third step, you actually manage your risk. There are primarily four ways of managing your risk: avoid, retain, transfer, mitigate. The first one is to avoid risk. This is probably the easiest thing. There is this very risky investment. You just avoid it. You don't go into that investment. You don't invest for example, in a tourism sector industry, which is considered volatile as compared to other industries. So this is the easiest of all. You avoid it. The second thing is you retain that risk. So this particular investment is risky, but that the higher the risk, the higher the return. So if you are going to retain that particular risk, you are going to get higher returns. So you retain it and you bear the losses or the profit that comes with it. The third one is to mitigate it. Install systems, create more controls, introduce limits. Okay, so you do all sort of measures to mitigate a particular risk that you have already retained. And the fourth one is to transfer the risk. So if you cannot practically hold or retain a particular risk, you just transfer it to another party. Insurance is a prime example of transferring your risk. So this is what the third step is all about. And the last but probably the most important step is to monitor and report it. Risk management is an evolving field. Okay, so the risk that did not have there 5 years back are now there. Okay, so the risk that weren't in existence before COVID-19 are there. So you have to prepare for the new world, and there is only one way of doing it, and that is to monitor and report your all risk management strategies. So you keep monitoring your controls, you keep monitoring your losses, you keep monitoring your processes, and the way your processes change, the way the environment change, the way the economy change, the way the business change, you change your procedures, you change your controls, you change your systems, and that is the only way to keep updated with the risk management changes. And its second part is reporting. So you report it to the relevant authorities, you report it to your senior management, you report it to your board. So the people who are actually in charge of taking decisions know what sort of risk are they bearing. So this is what risk management cycle is all about. Thank you.